In this video, you will learn how to pronounce regular past tense verbs. There are 3 rules that we will learn, and then you will have lots of opportunities to practice. Rule 1. Pronounce the ending sound as t after voiceless sounds. What are voiceless sounds? P, k, f, s, sh, ch. For example, ask becomes asked. Kiss, kissed. Stop, stopped. That's because K, S, and P are voiceless sounds. Rule 2. Pronounce the ending sound as D after voiced sounds. What are voiced sounds? B, G, V, Z, L, M, N, and all of the vowels. For example, rob becomes robbed. Kill, killed. Play, played. That's because B, L, and the AY combination are all voiced sounds. Rule 3. Pronounce the ending sound as id after the letters T and D. For example, point becomes pointed. Want, wanted. Wait, waited. Let's practice. On the next few slides, you're going to see a verb written in past tense. So look at the ending sound. Determine the ending sound before the ED and then try pronouncing it. After you try it, you will hear me pronounce it and you can see if you're correct. Remember, verbs that end with a voiceless sound, you pronounce with a t. Verbs that end with a voiced sound, you'll pronounce d. And verbs that end with T or D, you pronounce with id. If you want to play it as a game, you can give yourself a point for each word you pronounce correctly. Let's begin. Say the past tense of like. You should say it liked because it ends with a k, which is a voiceless sound. Liked. Say the past tense of work. You should pronounce it worked because work ends with k, which is a voiceless sound. Worked. Say the past tense of finish. You should pronounce it finished because the sh sound is voiceless. Finished. Say the past tense of call. You should pronounce it called because it ends in a voiced sound. Called. Say the past tense of answer. It's pronounced answered because it ends with a voiced sound. Answered. Answered. Say the past tense of remember. It's pronounced remembered because it ends with a voiced sound. Remembered. Say the past tense of talk. You should pronounce it talked because the k is a voiceless sound. Practice. Talked. Talked. Say the past tense of hate. It's pronounced hated because it ends with a T sound. Hated. Hated. Say the past tense of decide. It's pronounced decided because it ends with a D. Decided. Decided. Say the past tense of roll. Rolled because it ends with a voiced sound. Rolled. Say the past tense of wait. Waited because it ends with a T. Waited. Say the past tense of land. It's pronounced landed because it ends with a D. Landed. Landed. Say the past tense of yell. It's pronounced yelled because it ends with a voiced sound. Practice. Yelled. Yelled. Say the past tense of ask. This one comes up a lot. It's a voiceless sound, so you need to say it with a T. Asked. Let's practice. Asked. 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 Say the past tense of point. Pointed, because it ends with a T. Pointed. Say the past tense of trust. Trusted, because it ends with a T. Trusted. Say the past tense of punish. Punished, because it ends with a voiceless sound. Punished. Punished. Say the past tense of discuss. Disgust, because it ends with a voiceless sound. Disgust. Disgust. Say the past tense of type. Typed, because it ends with a voiceless sound. Typed. Typed. Say the past tense of look. Looked, because it ends with a voiceless sound. Looked. Looked. Say the past tense of confess. Confessed, because it ends with a voiceless sound. Confessed. Confessed. Say the past tense of believe. Believed, because it ends with a voiced sound. Believed. Say the past tense of lock. Locked, because it ends with a voiceless sound. Locked. Locked. Say the past tense of notice. Noticed. Noticed, because it ends with a voiceless sound. Say the past tense of learn. Learned. Learned. It ends with a voiced sound. Learned. Say the past tense of sign. Signed. It ends with a voiced sound. Signed. Signed. Say the past tense of fill. Filled. It ends with a voiced sound. Filled. Say the past tense of test. Tested. It ends with a T. Tested. Tested. Say the past tense of walk. Walked. It ends with a voiceless sound. Walked. Walked. Say the past tense of cross. Crossed. It ends with a voiceless sound. Crossed. Crossed. That's it. How did you do?